Hello and welcome to another video. If I sound depressed, it's because I ate 6 bars of chocolate and haven't made a title card. I regret these choices, but life goes on. This week I've finally got the character controller to a functional state. It needs a lot of tweaking on the animation side to give it a level of polish over and above dirt. But one thing at a time. At least now it's clear that the little guy walks and runs and strafes and ducks and unfortunately ice skates a little, but I'll fix that later. Anyway, I got the little guy to do all of that while holding his rifle as well. I thought I had it all working at this point, but then I tried to duck, which made the guy try to float and stick his feet up his bum in midair. A neat trick for parties, but not a lot of use here. One of the main issues you'll come across if you try and do code and art and animation stuff and editor bits is that somewhere along the pipeline it was your fault. I accept this quite readily, as I had some bad experiences in another company where passing the buck caused a lot of wasted time and was as well as interpersonal friction. The problem I have is that I assumed the wrong part of me as at fault first. I usually check the code first, and then the art and the animation, and then the editor settings. When most of the time I mess up the editor. I mean, almost all the time I've done something stupid in the editor. And I checked the code first, and then the anims, but it turned out I'd just left the base position, floor contact, / magical disc thing checked on the overlay layer. I should really start there first. The lesson here is to not just understand that you are incompetent, but that parts of you are more incompetent than others, and you should identify the duns and shun them. I may have gone off message there. On a side note, turns out the trail renderer is a butt. It decides not to render anything on the first frame, so it looks like the lasers spawn 10 feet from the gun. I'll fix it later. The next thing to do is check all the basic states in game. Not that ducking matters at the moment, but it's working anyway. The character is perhaps a little fast, but that's because the menu screen is double sized, so all the velocities are halved, and that's where I was measuring everything. Damn you, guy who does the editor settings. I'll fix it later. I'll also fix the hyperactive lit sprint to the controls when I'm an inch away from them. These crazy moves. I did fix the gun by this point though. Since the trail renderer doesn't behave, I replaced it with a line renderer and manually control the start and end. I also used a raycast on the bullet to make sure it didn't skip through walls at high speeds, as collisionists want to do. And lastly, I got the airlock working, so you can toss yourself out of the airlock. You aren't supposed to just launch yourself out of the airlock because it isn't helpful. You're supposed to have a little vehicle booster to fly around in. I haven't even designed that yet, so who knows. Oh, and it's not a technical problem having the character on the outside of the ship. It's just that there are some scale issues, as you can see here, or you can't see. I mean, that's kind of my point. I mean, this is the little person. Anyway, that's all for this week. I have more paperwork to do for next week, so I might have melted into a pit of despair. If not, I'll be back with something, probably just written, and whatever it is, I'll probably have broken it, but bye for now.